Hi, hello, welcome back to our YouTube channel of Statecraft IAS Academy. So, in this series, this series is called as PreCraft 2025. In this series, we will be focusing on the UPSC Civil Service Examination prelims point of view. So, all the things related to the prelims point of view, we will be discussing on that, and the focus is the first part of this PreCraft 2025 series. We are covering some important central government schemes which are in news. So you all know that questions on schemes are regularly asked, so based on that we will be doing the schemes part of it. So without further delay, let us start, and I request all the students who are preparing for UPSC, in the comment section let us know what would be the next few videos that you think would be useful for prelims 2025. We also have a list of topics in our mind, but any comments from your side would be most encouraged. So let us begin the session. Okay, so the first scheme that we will be looking at is the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, which is called as Ayushman Bharat or PMJAY. Also is the other name for this program. As you all know, it is a scheme under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and is one of the flagship schemes of this ministry. Okay, so the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare some time ago was thinking about how to enlarge the scope of secondary and tertiary services to all sections of the society, as primary healthcare centers may not be equipped with providing primary, secondary, and tertiary healthcare centers. So, to nullify this problem, this scheme was introduced, that is the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan or the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. First thing is that it is a centrally sponsored scheme. Remember, it is not a sector scheme, and it includes two major parts. One is the health and wellness centers, and the PMJAY, which provides compensation for hospitalization in private, secondary, and tertiary hospitals. Now, it has been some time, that is in from 2018 this scheme has been launched, and as you can see, it reduces the financial burden of the poor and vulnerable groups. You may know many studies that many people who have come out of poverty all and are just above the poverty line, which is called as APL, slip back to below poverty line once there is any major health issue in the family of this of the family that has just moved above APL. So the main reason is to insulate or insure poor and vulnerable groups. And the second part we need to know about any scheme is who is funding the scheme. Since it is a sponsored scheme, the scheme is funded 60% is to 40% in all the states and union territories, in the ratio between the center and the state. And in cases of Northeast, Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal and Uttarakhand, it is 90% is to 90 is to 10. And in case of union territories, which are the union territories which are mentioned, the entire funding is from the central government. Now, the second important part is who will identify the beneficiaries and who are these beneficiaries. Okay, so the beneficiaries will be identified by not any of the existing BPL card holders or other devices, but through the socio-economic census of 2011. Okay, and the Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana holders, members of these holders, and totally 55 crore individuals are identified as beneficiaries. This is a big number. Almost you can say that nearly 35 to 40% of India is covered by this program. Now, that means that there is a compensation of nearly 5 lakhs per family per for secondary and tertiary hospitalization. And the good thing is it is portable. That means, like, for example, a construction worker who may be working in a different state and moves to a different state, they may be eligible for using the same card across the country based on their in despite their native or the habitation place. And it also provides pre-hospitalization and post-hospitalization. So from the day of hospitalization, 3 days before to 15 days after hospitalization, the entire thing is covered by this scheme. Okay, so this is the first scheme about Ayushman Bharat. Okay, the next scheme is PM Vishwakarma scheme, and this scheme was launched on the day of Vishwakarma Jayanti. So, Vishwakarma scheme is a scheme by the Ministry of MSME. It is a scheme which involves support for the artisans and Karkushal. Uh, mm, Okay, so the next scheme is PM Vishwakarma scheme. The Vishwakarma scheme was launched on the Jayanti of Vishwakarma Jayanti, and it is a scheme by the MSME. Very important. Remember, it is not by any other ministry, but from the MSME to give impetus to many of these eligible uh, artisans who are eligible for this recognition for any of the skills that they have possessed. So the as we already have seen this from the MSME, it is a sector scheme. It is not a centrally sponsored scheme. That means the entire amount and the support will be given by the state, union government, by the union or the central government. It was launched on September 2023. What are the objectives of the scheme? The first primary objective is to give recognition to artisans and craftsmen as Vishwakarma. Okay, and the second thing is, once you give recognition, you upgrade their skills based on provide for suitable upgradation. And upgradation could be also in terms of skill as well as modern tools as well, and enable easy access to collateral free debt, collateral free credit. This is a challenge in rural areas where artisans have their skill as their primary asset. They do not have other assets like home, land, etc. To gain credit. Their skill is their only credit, and recognizing this, a collateral free credit is given. And anybody who involves in digital transaction, it could be phone pay, it could be other initiatives of the center, so they will be given incentives. And finally, a brand recognition and market links will be provided. For example, in terms of packaging, in terms of their branding, the central government will help them. So these are some major benefits of people who are eligible for the scheme. And the important uh, artisans recognized are wood-based artisans, iron, metal, or stone-based artisans, clay-based artisans, leather-based artists and artisans, architecture and construction-based artisans. All of these are eligible under the PM Vishwakarma scheme. And finally, what is the loan amount that is given? First, in the initial development for up to 1 lakh for 18 months is given, and the second loan tranche will be 2 lakhs at a concessional rate of 5, at a very nominal rate, or not nominal, concessional rate of 5%. As you know, there will be a skill training, skill upgradation and training, and during this period, these um, artisans will receive a stipend of rupees 500 per day during this period. Okay, so the next scheme which is of vital importance is the Vigyan Dhara scheme. So many a times this science and technology related schemes are quite confusing, because it could be related to scholarship, it could be related to innovation funding, it could be related to academia industry collaboration, or many other such aspects. So we need to know the objective of the scheme in great detail. The Vigyan Dhara scheme is from the Ministry of Science and Technology, and it was started in August 2024, which is why it also becomes very important for the CSE prelims 2025, because it is a newly launched scheme. Okay, and the three schemes under the Ministry of Science and Technology were merged to make it as one scheme, which is the Vigyan Dhara, which is the first scheme is the Science and Technology Institutional and Capacity Building scheme. The second one is the Research and Development related schemes, and the third one is Innovation, Technology Development and Deployment. Okay, Then we move into the objectives of the scheme. The major objective of the scheme is to strengthen the science, technology, and innovation ecosystem. Okay, it boosts the research and development infrastructure and also ensures that there is gender parity in the scientific ecosystem, which is very important. As you all know, the gender ratio, that is female to male gender ratio in STEM education, has been low for many years, but the good thing is it has been on the rise for a long period of time. So in the STEM ecosystem, there is a gender parity that it is promoting, and collaboration between academia, government, and the industry as the three spokes of innovation and development in the country. Not just in India, even in the USA, for instance, there is a very high collaboration between institutions like NASA, which is industry, and academia like Caltech, and the government of US government. All of them come together to ensure that innovation and research thrives in the country. Similarly, in India, Vigyan Dhara will be one such initiative to promote innovation. Finally, the period and outlay, the proposed outlay of the scheme is 10,000 crores for the 15th Finance Commission period of 2021 to 25-26. So an important scheme as it is starting in this year. Okay, so the next important scheme is Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, and this is important because of the context of the scheme of celebrating 10 years since the launch. So in 2015 it was launched, and 2025 marks 10 years. Has there been a progress? Yes, the sex ratio at birth from 918 has increased to 930 from 2015 to 2025. Okay, and this is a scheme from the Ministry of Women and Child Development, with along with Women and Ministry of Education and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The most important part is it translates to save the girl child and educate the girl child. There are multiple components in this scheme. The first one is to ensure that campaigns address the declining child sex ratio and the sex ratio at birth, which you can see it has accomplished, and multiple sectoral initiatives or multi-sectoral initiatives where there are some gender critical districts where the sex ratio is much below the national average. Focus on these districts, and a Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, which gives financial support to parents of the girls. It provides multiple benefits, like for instance there is an 8.2% interest on the investment. It is an EEE scheme. That means it is exempt from the time you have invested, the exemption of the tax on interest earned, and exemption of the interest on the matured amount as well. And at 18 years of the girl child, 50% of the amount can also be withdrawn. At It is a scheme that encompasses for 21 years and so on. So the Sukanya Samriddhi provides financial incentives for parents to not participate in sex selective elimination. Okay, in terms of the key beneficiaries, the primary key beneficiaries of the scheme include young couples, pregnant and lactating women, mothers, and parents, while the secondary ones include the youth, adolescents, and medical professionals, private hospitals, and diagnostic centers who participate in educating people about the mm, benefits of having a girl child and other aspects of it. There are also tertiary people involved in the scheme. There could be religious leaders who raise awareness about these things. There could be NGOs, media, which plays an important role. It could be social media as well, and other tools. Do note that the NRI citizens do not possess eligibility for the Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao scheme. Okay, so 10 years of this scheme marks it as an important scheme under the central government. All right, so the next scheme is the Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana. You might have seen that bima or insurance is an important aspect of any untoward incident, not just in India. across the world. It could be France, Germany, USA, Japan. Many of these nations pay a lot of emphasis on insurance. So not lagging behind, India has also introduced multiple Bima Yojanas. It could be Fasal Bima, etc. Under the Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, the most important thing is life cover. Okay, and who under which ministry? It is from the Ministry of Finance. Please note that this is very important. And life cover means on the death of the insured person, a sum of 2 lakh will be provided, will be given to the subscribers of the scheme. So rupees 2 lakh life cover will be given. The reason of death could be anything. It is not just for accidental, but could be any, due to contagious, non-contagious, or any such reasons. It is covered, and an annual premium of just rupees 436 rupees is to be paid for this scheme. Now, how does one pay for the scheme? It is auto debited from their bank or post office account, and thus having a individual bank or post office account is one of the requirement. However, a joint account holder can also subscribe, provide they meet the eligibility requirement. Then the scheme can be renewed up to the age of 55 years, and the entry age is 50 years. Till the age of 51 can enter the scheme. And remember, it is a 1 year cover. That is, once you pay rupees 436 for that entire 1 year, the subscribers of the family would be benefiting from in case of any untoward incident. So the another important aspect is about the benefits, affordable and accessible for the lower income groups. The lower income groups are not, may not be in the state to enroll for high premium life cover. So this is a good opportunity, and the enrollment is through a simple bank or post office process, and that makes it accessible as well as affordable for all sections of the population. And it protects the family members of the person demised to continue some sort of their life till they find a regular employment, in case the person who has demised is the lone breadwinner of the family. Right. So with that, we have come to the end of the first PreCraft 2025 series, which includes central government schemes. And in our future videos, we will come up with more such schemes and initiatives. Do subscribe to our channel. Thank you.